carnivore diet really fucked me over, man. I hate to say it. I know a lot of people are loving the carnivore diet. It's this big fad right now, but it really tanked my testosterone levels. And I'm gonna show you everything in this video, exactly what happened, why I did the carnivore diet. And I also want to expose this carnivore guru, Shawn Baker, Dr. Shawn Baker, MD. He's saying a lot of BS, which I don't agree with. I don't care about his personal life, but like just scientifically, it doesn't make sense what he's saying. And I'll show you why. But let's start with my journey, okay? I've had high testosterone for like 10 years. Back in 2013, I got my testosterone checked. It was 376 nanograms per deciliter. I went on this journey. I became Doc Testosterone, and I doubled my testosterone from 376 to 770. And then in my 40s, I increased it even more to 801. So before I did the carnivore diet, my testosterone levels were around 801 nanograms per deciliter, which is like really badass. I'm 43 years old. Now, when we moved to Europe about a year ago, I got this weird fungus on my forehead. It was like a lot of inflammation. It was terrible. I felt anxiety. I felt, because I never had acne in my life. So I felt kind of shitty. So I ignored it first, right? We traveled to like 10 different countries. And I was like, maybe it's the moving, maybe it's the stress, maybe it's the air, the water, blah, blah, blah. Let me just see what happens. Let me just ignore it for now. Maybe it'll just go away. But what happened in Europe is it went up and down, up and down. And like, I've never had acne. And I've been to Europe before, but this time it was something different. I thought maybe it's a citrus allergy. Maybe it's like something with the water filtration system. Who knows, right? Because we've been drinking plastic water bottles. I mean, we get the best water we can, but there's no other way here. You're traveling every month to a different country. So drinking from plastic water bottles. I don't have my shower filter with me. So it's just a normal filter that no filter at all in the shower. So anyway, I went to the dermatologist. She said it's Malassezia furfur, which is a fungus that's always on us. Sometimes it activates and there's nothing you can do about it. It's not contagious. But she just said she was clueless. I asked her about diet. I asked her, like, can I do something natural? And she's like, nope, take this antibiotic, take this weird shampoo cream thing, and put the antibiotic on your forehead. So I did that. For 5 days, I put the antibiotic and the furfur went away. It was pretty good. But then when I stopped the antibiotic, the furfur came back. Furfur is the name of the damn fungus, by the way, the fungal infection. And the acne came back with a vengeance. Like, it was hardcore, horrible. So again, I felt depressed. I was like, fuck, I should never listen to Big Pharma. I should never listen to dermatologists. They again tricked me. Anyway, so then I started reading papers. I started reading, I went on PubMed. I started learning all about this damn fungus. And I went on Reddit, YouTube, Google. I read a bunch of blogs, anecdotal evidence. But mostly the PubMed articles is what I was really interested in, because that's peer reviewed. Nothing really. It was a lot of medications, a lot of pharma BS. And I was like, fuck this. So then I started thinking about my PhD. Like, when I was studying neuroscience, we did have a little bit of infectious disease immunity type stuff. And one basic thing that I remember, not even from the PhD, but from my high school, is that fungi love carbs. They love sugar. And I was like, fuck, okay. So then I said, well, there's this diet, carnivore diet, which I had never done. So last year, I started the carnivore diet. And I gave myself 90 days. I said, you know what? I'll do it for 90 days and I'll do it correctly. So it wasn't just steaks. Like, some people just eat steaks, which I think is stupid. I had beef liver. I had bone broth. And of course, steaks, ground beef. And that's all I ate, with salt and water. And just to be sure, I took vitamin C every morning. Also for the furfur, the fungus Obviously, vitamin C is great antioxidant, great for immunity. So I thought, hey, it would help if I did vitamin C, so I did that as well. Man, the waves are fucking beautiful here. Check it out, man. Here, I'm right here. Badass, eh? And I also, just again to be very safe, I took magnesium at night. Okay? And since I was doing beef liver, and I know a lot of carnivore guys, they say, oh, you don't need that much vitamin C because blah, blah, blah. You know, if you're on a carnivore diet, you're not eating carbs, so you don't need as much vitamin C. You know, they say these things. Okay, fair enough, fine. But I still took vitamin C just to be sure. So I covered all my bases. Then I was fucking bored during those 90 days. It was kind of terrible. Like, as much as I wanted to get rid of the inflammation, I'll tell you exactly what happened while I was on carnivore. It wasn't a fun diet. Like, I don't just want to eat ground beef and steak and beef liver and bone broth. I mean, it was a great experience, those 90 days, but people who do it for life, like the carnivore diet cult people, I think it's stupid, honestly. And I'm gonna get into all of the different harms of the carnivore diet also in this video very soon. And then I'll get to Shawn Baker at the end. Okay, so what happened? What the fuck happened, right? I'll tell you what happened to my testosterone levels, but first what happened to the damn inflammation. Man, you gotta see this. It's crazy, eh? It's crazy. Fucking crazy. So the inflammation started going away in like 3 days. Literally, I started seeing it less because I was taking photos every day. I was obsessed with this stuff. And then after a week, it was like 50% gone. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna continue this. So I continued it. The first 3 weeks went by and the Malassezia furfur was almost gone, like 80-90% gone in a few weeks. But I made a commitment, 90 days, so I was gonna do the 90 days. Now, after the first month, I got fucking ripped, man. Like, I got shredded because obviously you're on a caloric deficit when you're on carnivore diet, because if you're only eating proteins and fats, you're gonna get full, and if basically no carbs, maybe just barely some carbs in meat, but like minimal, like marginal, theoretically speaking, but basically zero. And so, yeah, I got fucking ripped, man. I got like badass six-pack, best six-pack I ever had in my life. I kept my muscle. It was great. So I understand what these carnivore guys are doing. Like, I get it. It makes sense to me now how cool this diet is. But is it good long term? So let me get to that. The second month, something interesting happened. I was still getting ripped, still maintaining muscle. My gym performance was great, but something took a hit inside the bedroom. Look, I got a beautiful wife. I'm very attracted to her. I'm very horny for her. But during that second month of carnivore, the arousal, libido, the sexual energy wasn't there. Like, I didn't want to get it on all the time, like I usually do. And I hadn't done any other change. Of course, I was on a caloric deficit. It's hard to be on a caloric surplus with this type of diet, so I didn't really have a choice. But like, you can imagine, right? The main reason I went on this journey towards increasing testosterone, doubling my testosterone, was sex. So I could fuck. Like, that was it. It wasn't to look better or like to make more money or, you know, to like, it wasn't any of it. It was just to fuck, because I already was getting girls. Like, I was already picking up girls. I was really good at gaming, picking up chicks randomly, you know, one night stands, but I couldn't fuck. So that was the issue. So now, if I'm going on a fucking diet and I am like getting limp dick in the bedroom, which is what was happening back last year. So just to put in perspective, August 20th, around August 20th is when I discovered this dermatologist. When I went to the dermatologist, it was like the third week of August. I went to the dermatologist and she told me all this stuff. And then for a few months I did my research. And then November 20th was when I started this carnivore diet, November 20th. And I wanted to do it until February 20th, which I did. But during that second and third month on carnivore, I had issues inside the bedroom. My brain health was okay. I felt good. Usually when I'm on caloric restriction, like a caloric deficit, or when I'm fasting, I feel really good in the brain. So the brain fog was okay. I didn't care about, I didn't shit for like 5 days. Then I had a bunch of diarrhea. It smelled really bad. I didn't really care for that. There are other problems in the carnivore diet, which I'm going to discuss very soon. But during the second and third month, I felt a decline in my testosterone levels. And remember, I've had high testosterone for 10 years. So if something happens to my testosterone, I fucking know what's going on. So, bedroom performance tanked, lots of limp dick moments, wasn't getting aroused, wasn't feeling that horny, that for my wife, which I always do, which I do again, thank God. And I'll show you what I did to reverse my low T that happened with carnivore. Anyway, so February 20th, I went to get my blood test done. You guys know me, right? I always get blood tests done to prove shit, not just anecdotal evidence, not just like observational, not just feel, but I need to see numbers. That's why when I did my supplement Afro-D back in the day when I started, I doubled my testosterone using it. I had the blood test results to prove that I doubled my testosterone, right? I mean, you guys know this. You've seen the other videos on my channel. So on February 20th, I got my blood test results. And for the first time in 10 years, my testosterone decreased. It went below 600 nanograms per deciliter. Now that's fucked up, crazy. If 592 nanograms per deciliter total testosterone, free testosterone also went down. I am nowhere near the high range like I used to be. And it fucking shattered my confidence. Because what am I? I'm Doc Testosterone. I have high testosterone. This is what I do. I get my students and clients to double their testosterone, which I've done for 10 years now. I transform people's physiques. I transform people's lives. So if I have low T, of course, 600 nanograms per deciliter is not low T. I'm still great for a 43-year-old, but for me, that sucks because I was on a trajectory to hit 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. And I'll tell you about the 1,000 Club at some point in this video also. You need to know about the 1,000 Club because I'm gonna fucking get there now. And it's also good, very, very good for you that I'm on this journey again as Doc Testosterone. So, once I figured out that I once again need to go on this journey to increase my testosterone, I was happy because I've been shitting around for a while, right? Like I settled, bro. I fucking settled, right? Back in the day, it was all about getting laid. It was all about picking up chicks. It was all about increasing my bedroom performance game, increasing my confidence, my muscle mass so I can get more girls, getting more and more shredded so I can get more girls. But then when I got married, I was happy. I'm happy with, I'm good, right? Like, I got a girl. I don't need to pick up any girls anymore. I have a beautiful wife. I'm good. Who loves me, right? It's not just about beauty. She loves me. She loves me more than I love myself. She taught me how to love. She taught me how to be in nature. She taught me how to ground, for God's sake. You see, I'm grounding right now. She taught me all this crazy stuff. The love of life she taught me. How to love myself, right? But then when that happened, and I got this proven results that, the carnivore diet tanked my T, man. So then I did more research on the carnivore diet. I mean, I knew a little bit, but then I went deeper and I found out there's several problems with the carnivore diet. First problem is the lack of micronutrients, which I already alluded to. Yes, some people will say, oh, because there's less glucose and less insulin spike, or no insulin spike in this case, maybe a little bit, I don't need vitamin C. I don't need that much vitamin C. Okay? So micronutrients are for sure an issue. The other issue is fiber, right? The carnivore guys will say, oh, because I'm on the carnivore diet, I don't need biodiversity in the gut. The gut doesn't care for biodiversity. There's not enough research about the gut to tell you that, oh, biodiversity is important. What is biodiversity, by the way? Biodiversity is the amount of different strains of bacteria, good bacteria, inside your gut. And what scientists have shown, the gut scientists, is that the higher the biodiversity of your gut, the higher your gut health, the higher your brain health, the higher your overall health. Because gut health is a big deal, right? So fiber is missing in the carnivore diet. That's an issue. Another issue is that it's fucking dull and boring. Like, what the hell? How are you going to enjoy life? How are you going to be an amazing man if you're all the time hungry? You know, when I was doing carnivore, I was craving carbs. I was craving ice cream and pizza and fucking tacos. I don't want to make some animal-based bullshit, pizza. That's nasty. Flatbread pizza, animal-based. That's nasty, man. Or like some bullshit animal-based tacos or bread. That's nasty. Or animal-based desserts. Fuck that. Animal-based ice cream. That's stupid. That's like it's like scarcity, hungry, famine type shit. Like, don't do that. Okay. So that's another problem with the carnivore diet. It's dull and boring. And I do not want a dull and boring life for myself or for you. So don't do that shit. Another problem, and this is anecdotal and a little bit of science to prove this also, is that free testosterone goes down with carnivore diet because SHBG goes up. And you guys know SHBG is bound to testosterone. It doesn't let it do its thing, right? It decreases free testosterone because it binds to it. And free testosterone is the testosterone that's not bound to SHBG. So there is some evidence of that, of it decreasing free testosterone. So this is what happened to me. And now I'm on this journey to get to 1,000 grams per 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. This is the journey I'm on. Now I'm gonna get to Shawn Baker very soon to end this video. But let's turn around a little bit here. Show you the other side. Yeah, these rocks are fucking cool, man. I love this city so much. Best beach I've ever been to. Let me see where the light is better. You see my pretty face. Yeah, that is badass. So, so now, there are many other problems with the carnivore diet. And maybe I'll make another video to discuss all the other problems. But let's now go to Shawn Baker, okay? Shawn Baker is this dude. He's he holds certain records. Really strong guy. Does a badass deadlift. He looks good. He's shredded. He's muscular. He's amazing guy, right? He's like, I think 50 years old. But he has low T, and he's been doing carnivore for like 8 years. And by the way, all the records that he broke were before the carnivore diet. That's what's interesting. If you go deeper into Shawn Baker, you'll realize that all those records that he broke were before he started the carnivore diet. So what people are stupid, right? So people are like, oh, carnivore diet. He's the carnivore diet guy. He broke all these records doing the carnivore diet. That's not true. Since doing the carnivore diet, he's broken no records. That's interesting. Now, let's get into what he claims in terms of science, which I don't believe. He claims, so his testosterone used to be like 235 nanograms per deciliter. That's fucked up low, dude. That's fucking low. And then he did his test again and it was like 450 nanograms per deciliter. That's embarrassingly low. And we know other guys like Paul Saladino, he had his testosterone decreased. That's why he started adding carbs and all that. You guys know that story about Paul, right? But with Shawn, his claim is, hey, I have low testosterone, but it's okay because my androgen receptors are more sensitive. Like, what the fuck? So let me explain to you how this works. Testosterone, it's floating around in your bloodstream. It needs to bind to certain cells to do its work. So that testosterone, the free testosterone, binds to an androgen receptor on different parts of the, in the brain, all over the body, muscle cells. Testosterone, the androgen receptors are fucking everywhere. Okay, in your testes, like everywhere. So, okay, so when it binds to the androgen receptor, it has to travel inside the cell to the nucleus of the cell, right? The main part of the cell where the DNA is, and it does gene expression, genetic expression. This is the main thing. Like when you take action and you feel something, or you like grow more muscle and you get an erection, or you feel aroused, you feel like losing, you lose body fat. That happens through genetic expression. Okay? Genetic expression is like the end all of everything we're doing for health. Genes have to be expressed. So the testosterone molecule binds to an androgen receptor on the outside of the cell. It travels inside the cell, binds to the nucleus, and does genetic expression. Okay? To the DNA. Now, what Shawn is saying is like, hey man, it's okay if I have low testosterone because my androgen receptor sensitivity, how sensitive and welcoming, the affinity of the receptor to testosterone is high. Now, what's weird about that is, Shawn, do the fucking test, bro. He's even talked about the specific test that can be done to test for androgen receptor sensitivity. So why don't you get that test done? Maybe he did get the test done and it was like false. I don't know. Or maybe he doesn't want to do the test because if it's negative, then that means everything he said is a lie. Anytime someone confronts him about low T, rather than standing up for himself and say, yeah, I got low T, he defends himself, becomes defensive, and says, oh, because I have higher androgen receptor sensitivity. Bullshit. I think it's bullshit. There's no scientific evidence to show that. He hasn't done the blood test proof to show that. I think it's crap. Okay. I believe what's really going on, and by the way, Shawn, I'm happy to talk to you, man. Like, hit me up on Instagram. I'm posting there daily all my foods and exactly what I'm doing. All my health protocols are on Instagram. So follow me there, please. And DM me there, Shawn. And we can debate or touch base. Like, I'm a testosterone expert. I can help you with this, like to increase your testosterone if you want. And it ain't gonna be through carnivore diet. Let me tell you that. So just own up to it, man. Like when I had low T, like right now, my T has become lower. I'm owning up to it. Like I'm not hiding it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me get up to 1,000 nanograms per deciliter, double my testosterone again, and then I'm gonna make a video. No. I'm walking you guys through my journey. I'm taking you guys on this path in my life and documenting what's going on. Because right now, motherfuckers, Doc Testosterone is fucking back. He's back. Shit. For real. Because now, this carnivore diet bullshit, it's triggered me to go on my second journey of doubling testosterone. The first one I doubled. That was 10 years ago. I kept it for 10 years. Stayed shredded for 10 years. And now, I'm gonna double it again. So right now, my total testosterone is around 600 nanograms per deciliter. My challenge to myself is over the next 90 days to 180 days. So in the next 3 to 6 months, I'm going on this path. Lower cortisol. I want to lower cortisol levels. That's a big deal for me. Doing a lot of research, doing a lot of studies, spending a lot of time indoors, which I don't want to do. So now I've made a pact. I'm going to stay most of the day outdoors, no matter what it takes. Winter, summer, spring, I don't care. And I know for a fact that when I was raising my testosterone levels, I was always outside. I was making videos like this. I was in Florida or I was in Miami, right? I was outdoors. Even when I was in Kiev and I deadlifted 3 plates, the highest deadlift I've ever done, and I was so proud. I was outdoors a lot, all the time. So this is a pact that I've made to myself. I want to join the 1,000 Club. So if you go on my Aphro-D group in Facebook, Aphro-D Academy, you're going to see guys who are in the 1,000 Club. These are my students, my clients, who have doubled or even tripled their testosterone levels 100% naturally through using Aphro-D. And here's the other thing. When I was, when I was doing the carnivore diet for those 3 months, I did not use Aphro-D. I was that careful. A supplement I've taken for so many years, since I started it, since I formulated it, and even before I formulated it, when I was testing it, I've taken that supplement. And I stopped it during the carnivore diet phase. So I now have reintroduced Aphro-D into my routine. A few other herbs I'm taking, and I'll make another video about that and show you my results on that. Reintroduce carbs. I'm eating sweet potatoes, white rice. I've made other videos about my diet and explaining exactly what I'm doing. So watch those videos on my channel. I'm eating all my favorite foods, the tacos, the pizza, the burgers. In fact, last night I had burgers with sweet potato and white rice, and I'm drinking kombucha again and kimchi and eating desserts and nuts and fruits and vegetables and like whatever the heck I want. Bread. We went to a restaurant the other day. I had a bunch of bread. It was fucking good. So yeah, eating everything, still 6-pack, still shredded, right? Like, yeah, you can see. I don't know if you can see. Still shredded. Yeah, I'll show you. Go on my fucking Instagram. I have too many clothes on right now. It's cold. Go on my Instagram. You'll see all the shredded pics of my 6-pack and go to the Aphro-D Facebook group. You're gonna see all that, just to prove that I'm walking the talk and talking the walk. All right, motherfuckers. Doc Testosterone is back. Just wanted to tell you, keep coming to this channel, subscribe, tell your buddies they want to boost testosterone naturally, come to this guy because he's on his path again and he's going to teach you guys everything you need to learn. This is Doc Testosterone. There you go. See you next time.